The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, trusted by over 500 NFL players for their winning smiles. And broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your host, Nicole Hutchison.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. Aisha Morrison, Brie Aldred, Nicole Hutchison, out in Oxnard. I'm Jess Navarre, your host for today. Ladies, I know our intro said we're basically all smiles, but unfortunately we're not because of some injury updates and some injury news that came across throughout the last time that we got to talk. Let's get right to it because, man, there's a lot to talk about. Let's start with cornerback Kalen Carson. Todd Archer reporting that he got a hyperextended knee and he will be out for 4 to 6 weeks. If you're doing the math is in fact mathing because that means a potential week 1 comeback, if not week 2. So it's right on the cusp. Ladies, obviously the downfall of this is, well, he needed the practice reps and the cornerback room looking real thin. So the Cowboys said, well, time to go shopping. Cornerback Christian Matthew, your newest Dallas Cowboy. This edition, there's not much really to see of him. He's only had 3 NFL starts. He reunites with Matt Eberflus as he spent some time with him at the Bears over there. Ladies, let's start with this cornerback room. What the 4 to 6 week loss of Kalen Carson does for this room.
Where are you starting with?
Go ahead, Nicole.
Okay, but I'm sorry. It's just odd. Sorry.
Girl,
no. Yeah, no. It's kind of, it sucks that, Kalen is having to be out or sidelined for a little bit because, obviously he battled that injury, shoulder injury last year in his rookie season. And I actually saw him when I was taping inside Cowboys training camp and just asked him, like, hey, are you okay mentally? And he said, yeah, you just got to do what you got to do to, make sure he gets back on the field. But in terms of what it does for this cornerback room, they just took a hit because you had guys like Kalen Carson who were, kind of playing taking first and second team reps, Andrew Booth as well, who probably had his best day out here yesterday and the day before, had a PBU on Jalen Tolbert. So that's also a detrimental hit to you as well. We don't know the update just yet, but just be on the lookout. They were kind of playing Israel Mukuamu at corner and also him taking snaps at safety as well. So, there's a little bit of depth there, but not proven depth. And that's been the biggest thing for this team. And pretty much every position last year, especially, there hasn't been a lot of proven guys. And then they just brought in another unproven guy. So, but you just never really know what happens with those guys. So you have a guy like Kaiir Elam, who is playing his best right now that he has probably in his entire career. So, yeah, it's obviously a detrimental hit to this cornerback room, but it's something that they just got to figure out fast.
Yeah, basically how Nicole started, this sucks. We talked about it all summer about this being one of the groups that was already coming in thin. That was really my top 2 at the top of the list that I was concerned about. You start camp with 2 guys already on the PUP list, talking about Trayvon Diggs and Josh Butler, of course, trying to work back. You have some optimism about what Revel can do in that group. Can't forget about him, but he's also came into camp injured. Nicole just mentioned Andrew Booth, right? That's going pretty deep down on the depth chart, and that is also injured. Kaiir Elam, I think, is the most optimism I can see in this group because I haven't been out there. I'm excited to get there Sunday, but I keep hearing him making plays. We saw him lifting a baby a couple days ago, right? There's some exciting things happening. But like Nicole said, there's no proven pieces there. And you attested to it when we mentioned Christian Matthew. I tried to kind of look up. I reached out to some people that actually coached along with him, but there was just not a lot there because they haven't been able to see it, right? He, former 7th-round pick, 2022 draft, did play his most games in his rookie season with the Cardinals, which I always take a look at that when I see a grown man he played in 20 games, didn't have a lot of starts, but when most of those games are played in the rookie season, but the drop-off comes in the second season when he's not injured, that is something what happened there. And then obviously to bring in another injured guy or coming off an injured guy, I'm kind of looking at the why. I feel like there's a lot of other pieces, cornerbacks that maybe could be available that aren't being used, but we kind of like, why are we going after somebody else who's unproven and injured? He fits the mold, but that's not what should be the goal right now. But what is your look on that, Aisha?
I don't know if I have one. I don't know if I have one. I mean, specifically for Kalen Carson, I just feel like it's pivotal for him because of everything that you ladies have, laid out in regard to the cornerback room. There's opportunity there. There's opportunity to win a spot or to, take advantage of the reps that you're getting in that moment. And so we were really hoping that Kalen Carson would be able to take a step forward and be able to be a consistent on the field. You mentioned Kyer Elam, and we got to get eyes on him while he was physically here. Definitely saw his confidence and stuff, and him coming along has been big. I know, Nicole, those guys are taking the ball away at a high clip and playing with some ferocity out there, especially now that they're in pads. The playing field is a little more even because as we see, with the secondary, we've seen that the receivers are having, some spots where they're having a little bit of trouble. So that's encouraging, but disappointing all the way around. And my biggest thing is even with Carson, working to get back from injury, what happens if one of those other guys that are, on PUP or IR or whatever the case may be is available? How is that going to fold? I think this room is going to change regardless when and if Savon Ravel is ready to go or Trayvon Diggs is ready to go. I think this was an opportunity for Kalen Carson to keep his name in the mix when those decisions are made about who's going to have to sit down and who's going to play. And it's just a bummer for him. So Israel Mukwamu, Keemon Hall, those gentlemen going to have to step up in his absence.
Another thing kind of about Kalen Carson is he had a disappointing year last year, given he was dealing with a shoulder injury that seemed to just be nagging week after week after week, and I think longer than even he anticipated for it to be just a nagging, hurting shoulder. The problem is that essentially did not showcase what he came in here speaking about, which was, I'm the human seatbelt. I'm gonna lock people up. You're not gonna see people move past me. I'm gonna sure tackle. I mean, he had a lot to say, and he was very high coming out of the draft. And because of that injury, people were kind of like, I don't know. And so this was the training camp to me, that year 2 jump, pivotal for the rest of what you're defined as for your career. And not to say he can't come back from this injury. I really hope for his sake that he does. He has a lot of people to prove wrong. But Nicole, I am glad that you asked how he was mentally, because something about Kalen Carson is he's kind of quiet when you first get to talk to him and know him. But I feel like just that confidence boost from playing well again, you're going to kind of see him spark. So I'm bummed that could come, later than we anticipated. And that, again, means a delayed development, because now that training camp period that you have that development time, you're not going to see it essentially until week 5, week 6 of the regular season, when you already need people to start forming their peak of potential, right? So bummed for Kalen, bummed for that cornerback room that cannot catch a break from that injury bug. But on the other side of the ball, ladies, some news that came out yesterday, which had us all on a little emotional roller coaster, to say at the very least. Our heart rates, I know my watch told me I need to relax a little bit when I saw that.
My knees.
Definitely was on the knees.
I fell to my knees.
Yeah, I was on the phone with my dad.
Why?
And I was like, Dad, no. Oh, no. Hate to break your heart like this, Dad. But offensive tackle Tyler Guyton, bone fracture on his knee, expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. The next 2 days will determine a sure recovery time. According to Nick Harris, he put out a tweet saying, just trying to make sure exactly what that recovery time is going to be for his knee. The good thing is that Nick also tweeted he's not expected to start the season on IR. So that's more positive than the initial report of what we all thought it would be. Ladies, another year of shuffling that O-line. How How does this impact the offensive line and Nicole, especially from who was getting those first-team reps after losing Rob Jones for the season as well?
Can one of you ladies clarify how to say Hakeem
Adeniji.
I knew that's how you say it.
I always think of the word energy, and I just gotta throw the
Energy. Okay.
Well, maybe you're
That's how
manifesting
Thank you.
something
Now
here.
I keep hearing
with the
his name, so I'm like, I gotta learn it.
Hey, clues help my
Listen,
ADHD.
don't get me started. I'll write another poem.
All right, sounds good.
good.
Okay, so Adeniji.
Oh my God.
Hakeem Adeniji. Okay, go ahead, Nicole. Give us the 411.
No, you're good. Oh, no. I was just going to say, like, when it happened, you could, like, it was quiet. Like, it felt like if it was an enclosed space, like, someone just took the air out of it when Tyler Guyton went down. Obviously, you saw him in a couple of videos. Hey, got the clip video of him walking off the field, and, Michael Parsons helped alongside of him, helping him off the field. Shout out to Michael, by the way. He's been showing a lot of leadership out here, so I just want to make sure that we point that out as well. But, when that happened, it was unfortunate, but especially for someone who, we've been talking about him every single week, is the fact that he put in so much work this offseason. So much. He changed his body, started eating better, taking care of his body, worked on his footwork, and you can see even in his reps, like, he's not oversetting too much, and especially with faster pass rushers who have quicker hands like Donovan Ezeraku. He's won quite a few of those battles. So it's been good to see him improve so much. But, you expected him to come out, and have a great year. Obviously, that's delayed, but you have guys like Nate Thomas, who Brian Schottenheimer is very high on, Austin Richards as well, who is kind of taking right tackle reps behind Hakeem Adeniji when he replaced Terrence Steele. So there's a lot of moving around pieces that I feel like they have to do and they'll continue to do. But I think for the left tackle side, you have Austin Richards, who has been known for being that swing tackle, or Nate Thomas. I think they're going to try to keep Hakeem Adeniji on the right side.
Okay, yeah, that's something that I know I heard Brian Broaddus mention, is that it seems like they're going to allow guys to play the sides that they are, known to be playing. And Adeniji is a guy that does have some swing flex, but if they are more comfortable with him at right, we saw him step in when Terrence Steele was out. And honestly, seeing Terrence Steele get out there yesterday, seeing some of the stuff he was able to do from the clips, and hearing some of the reports, getting out in space, showing off that athleticism. Good on him, again, for being able to battle back after we thought I was scared too for him too. I was scared too. So having him back out there is a big deal as well. But in regard to Tyler Guyton, I'm bummed because of the trajectory he was on. Obviously, momentum is a thing. Confidence is a thing. But he seems very focused in a sense that I'm not worried about him being able to come back and be able to kind of fit back into what he was already doing. These coaches have expressed that they want him to do what he is good at, and I think they're allowing him to do that, and that's kind of why he's thriving. And then Austin Richards kind of being in the mix, and they're using him in a tight end capacity and having him move across, like moving him in line so he can help with the blocking and separating into the second level too. So I see the vision. We just got to wait.
Yeah.
It feels like. I see the vision, but it's kind of like we got to wait.
To me, this is like one of the guys. It's the two guys. We're talking about Kalen Clarkson, like you said, all the injuries. We didn't really get to see him in his rookie season. And then you got Tyler Guyton, who's on this mission. Like Nicole just said, he was, very adamant, like it wasn't good enough. I'm not going to be the reason why this team can't run the ball. I'm not going to be the weak link on the O-line. That's not. And it was just like, this is a different type of Tyler Guyton. And so these are the two people you wanted to see take that leap, and they're both going to be out for at least the next month. Which is kind of tough. But again, they're not out for the season. It's just, okay, they just have to figure out what they're going to do for camp and who's going to get in there. And then most likely week one, you're not going to see. I highly doubt that Tyler Guyton, even though he'll be available in best case scenario week one, I highly doubt that they're going to throw him in there. Why would you rush your left tackle, your starting left tackle? Against an Eagles I just don't see that happening personally. I think this is something where, okay, now, like Nicole said, Austin Richards has been going back and forth. They throw them in there. And you go in as Brian Schottenheimer, and we know where the weakness is.
Yeah.
How do we make this not the biggest liability, and how do we not get exposed? How do we make our offense not lean so hard on that position.
That's my thing though. Is like that's the thing that I'm stressed out about is the fact that this interior offensive line is gonna move people off the ball. Like the way that they are running the ball and the way that they're trying to orchestrate and push in the middle, doing combo blocks and stuff. Your tackles are they're asked to be athletic and not powerful, and that's fine. I like that. I, however, don't want the tight ends to be designated blockers. So I'm hoping that one of these veterans that steps in, or a Nate Thomas, whomever, is a guy that can hold his own. Maybe they chip every now and then, maybe whatever. But it can't be, you got to go max protect every single time because this tackle cannot hold up. You need your tight ends to be interchangeable. We've been seeing how much usage Hunter Lipke's getting, being able to do stuff. Jake Ferguson, obviously Brevin Spanford is going to be out with the ankle, but Schoonmaker, your tight ends need to be a part of your passing game, and they literally cannot if you always got to help hide your tackles. So for the love of muffins, hopefully this gives somebody time to gain some confidence, get comfortable, so you can go run your offense like you want to. I don't want it to be too much of a drop-off because I don't want your offense to be limited because of that. I don't.
Well, and I also... I get so frustrated for this offensive line because, they have not had an opportunity to just have their line set and get rep after rep after rep. I mean, for the past, 3 years?
Every time.
And it's frustrating. It is. And, we know the nature of injuries for offensive linemen in this league. We understand that. But especially for this type of player, like you said, Bree, Tyler Guyton, second-year player, really need to make that jump. I think that the biggest difference when you're comparing like Kalen Carson and Tyler Guyton to needing to make those year 2 jumps is the confidence level that you see in Tyler Guyton is noticeable.
Yeah.
And with Kalen Carson, it's not as noticeable. He's kind of one of those guys that gets lost in the shuffle as compared to Tyler Guyton. Like, not saying Kalen Carson didn't put in the work and do what he needed to do this offseason, but Tyler Guyton, you can tell mentally came in here ready to work, ready to shut up everybody up that had anything negative to say and prove that what you saw last year wasn't his best. And he admits that. So when you see a guy that comes in, put the work in with veteran players, put the time in to gain that muscle mass, work on his feet, work on his hands, do everything he needed to do, it's a confidence blow, and it sucks. So, all that to say.
I got a question.
What?
I got a question real fast.
Yeah.
If y'all don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Do y'all feel more comfortable? I mean, obviously, I think that's the obvious answer is yes, but I want to know why. Do y'all feel more comfortable with the depth they have on the offensive line this year rather than last year? Obviously, yes, but why?
I would say I feel a little more comfortable in what we've seen from Nate Thomas. And I'm not sure about Awesome because they're moving him around a little bit more. And also his feet look a little slower than what I remember. And I know like that. But I do feel a little bit more comfortable because of the interior and because of the scheme and the way that, like, we go back to a Clayton Adams coming from Arizona. We've talked about it ad nauseum, is that offensive line was not full of stars. That offensive line had one first-rounder on it, and they were very efficient running the ball. So it's also, too, the clipboard warriors. Like, I think you got people with clipboards in their hands that can orchestrate how to run this ball efficiently and it not look so clunky and crazy. So to me, I think you can get away with it, especially given kind of how they're running the ball, maybe. But I do feel more confident this year than last year because of the scheme, personally, and the interior, personally. What about you?
Me, the interior, 110%. Like when
cheating.
When you look at, especially I think more is obviously the rookies were the question marks, right? We just haven't seen what they can do. And BB is a reason why I'm confident we're looking at that interior part and the anchor of the O-line. Now, when we're comparing with Kalen and Guyton had our heart stopped because Guyton is a known starter. I know Schottenheimer's like, we're going to have the best 5, yes, but we know that is including Tyler Guyton. So that's what hurts the most. And I think what I learned from the injury feared to be a torn ACL, that initial Ian Rappaport, what he was reporting at the time, I think that taught me how important Tyler Guyton is to this offensive line.
Everybody panicked.
Because everyone's like, oh no, Tyler Smith is going to go here, and everybody's freaking out, and he's the only person who can keep it. Yeah. I think Austin Richards can handle it temporarily. That's not who you want to see, throughout the season. So I have faith that Austin Richards and Ryan Schottenheimer's scheme, his playbook, he sees what we see. He knows what he's missing. He knows the Eagles are going to try to cook a little bit, right? We know what they bring defensively. So it's going to be a challenge, 110%, but I think, like Aisha just said, what they are planning to be, this is going to be a run first team in my mind, what I'm seeing. I think they can disguise it. Now, it's going to be a fight week one. It changes how I look at week one.
Do I feel better about it than I did last year? I feel indifferent. I don't feel any different about it because it still stresses me out that your starting five can't just get reps together. Either way, if you're comparing last year to this year, it's just the injuries. It's frustrating for everybody. It's frustrating for these guys. And then I think, Bree, to your point, hearing about Tyler Guyton going down, I was like, Tyler Smith doesn't get to just stay where he needs to stay.
And we're crying.
That also is one of those things where it's like, keep guys where they need to be stars. And I understand, yes, you want your best five, but you need to find a way to do that without shifting people around and depending on the fact that you have that. It's a good thing when you need it, but the immediate, Tyler Smith needs to shift over. No, I don't want to see him shift. Let him be. He is your cornerstone. I think, to me, what is the most frustrating from last year to this year is it's just continuously trying to figure out how you get all these guys to stay healthy. And that's the nature of the business. So whenever anybody comes up with a secret formula to keep all these guys healthy all year, let us know. But it's just these injury bugs, man. And I guess it was better to happen now than happen later in camp and then dip into the season. But just rather it not happen at all. But with that, ladies, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, there's plenty more injuries to talk about. Unfortunately, we're going to dive deep into that. And then it's QB1's birthday. We're going to talk a little bit Dak when we come back as well. This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. We'll be right back.
How do you tell the world about all the great gifts in the Yeti store? Let her rip, Troy.
All right, folks, let's get started with the Yeti French Press. Enjoy coffee that stays hot for hours in a French press. 34 ounce for you, 6'4" for the cruise. The Yeti French Press. Hot mix waterproof bags. Bags waterproof. Submersible waterproof doubles. Waterproof backpacks. World's mostly water, so get a waterproof Yeti bag. Do I smell something cooking? Oh, new cast iron skillets made to be passed down like Mama's recipes. Take a steak, cornbread, cobbler's pot pie, and potatoes next level with 3 sizes of Yeti cast iron skillets.
Gear, gifts, and product experts. Visit the Yeti store on McKinney Street and at South Lake Town Square today.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Do it for confidence on and off the field. Do it for you. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Don't wait. Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
This second segment is brought to you by Blockchain.com. Cowboys football is back, and so is your game day style. From tailgates to touchdowns, rep the Star in fresh new fits. Find your season-ready gear today at Pro Shop near you or shop online at shop.dallas.com at a Fanatics experience.
You know what else you can find online? Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. Bree Aldridge, Aisha Morrison, Nicole Hutchison out in Oxnard. Jess Navarre is your host for the day. Unfortunately, we spent our whole first segment talking about injuries, and we're going to continue to do so because there's more. So let's just go down this list, and then we'll decide which way we want to go from there. All right. Tight end, Brevin Spanford, an ankle injury, expected to miss a few days. Terrence Still, an ankle injury, slowly working his way back in, so that's positive. That's good news. Running back Deuce Vaughn has a hamstring injury. He's supposed to return some point this week. Wide receiver Paris Campbell has a lower leg injury, expected to miss a few days. Safety Wanye Thomas has a lower body injury. It's TBD on what his timeline will be. And that is the end of my list. Nicole, did I miss anybody?
Mm-mm.
Well, there we go.
No.
Ladies,
Goodness.
out of this laundry list of names going into this next week of training camp, which one stands out to you the most as far as, taking a hit to their room individually, and why? And y'all can have the same one.
I'm looking at Bree.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say
About-
cornerback. I mean, that's obviously the biggest one. Obviously, offensive line with Guyan and Kalen Carson. But I think the other one, Brevin Spanford, even though it's not long, it's just missing those crucial opportunities and crucial reps for him because he was having a great start to his camp. But, I mean, it opened up the door for guys like John Stevens who, obviously had his first two seasons derailed because of, his injuries. So, yeah, I mean, I think all those injuries are very crucial. But if I had to choose one outside of Guyan and Kalen Carson, I'd go with the tight ends.
Yeah, I would honestly piggyback off that because, I mean, it's camp. You can't bubble wrap these guys as much as we want to. There's going to be some guys that get banged up. Obviously, when we're talking about months, then that's something to talk about. But I look at the tight end room. Cowboys just made it very clear who they're going to be building around, right? Shout out to Jake Ferguson getting his bag. What is he, the seventh highest paid tight end in the NFL?
That's a top 10.
Right. Okay, so I have to say that was something, the way that Jerry speaks about his contract situations, it seems like he wants his players to go out there and prove it, if you will. Now I'm starting to feel like those are for the players who want to be the highest paid players. Now, I think the deal with Jake Ferguson is fair because as much as I am a fan of Jake Ferguson, especially 2023 Jake Ferguson, he is not coming off. He's coming off his worst year. I mean, that's just plain what it was, right? But I think it shows a lot from the Cowboys to get this deal done. I think it makes sense for both ends. And then now, okay, who else is going to be in that room to help out Ferguson? I think Aisha always talks about how he was the designated blocker, right, last year. So that's another reason why no touchdowns, correct? Oh, yeah. So, I mean, the boy couldn't do what he was what he is now paid to do, right? So yeah, I mean, that's when I look at injuries, that's probably the room that I'm like, okay, we know what Jake's about to do. Jake's about to play like he just got paid. So what are the other guys going to do in that room? Schoonmaker, I remember him stepping up moments last year and things like that. So I'm excited to see what that group does. But yeah, when we're talking about injuries, I expect that list, unfortunately, to keep growing. That's just the name of the game when we're in pads.
Yeah. What you got?
I knew who you. I was gonna guess who you was gonna say, but go ahead.
Go, girl.
No. So the Brevin thing, obviously, it's super important. Because of his usage so far. It has been very clear that he and Dak have obviously been working together off the field, and that's something they've talked about. But he is such a big body. The work he has also done. I mean, we talk about Tyler Guyton. Also talk about Brevin Spanford, one of the highest paid, undrafted free agents in the NFL in general last year. There were expectations for him coming in. He had a down year last year to his standards, even himself. To come in here and show the ability as a receiver, they haven't really started doing red zone work, but he is a guy that I think would be huge when you want to work the red zone. So for him to kind of get out of his groove a little bit was a little, saddening, and Dak is looking for him as he's scrambling. But Deuce Vaughn is the one that stands out to me. because of the fact that, you started seeing Deuce Vaughn use some of his vision, bounce to the outside. This offensive line is going to, I think this run game is going to attack the interior and kind of inside, but they're also going to attack the edges. And you got some guys, those speedy guys are the guys that can attack that. Jadon Blue is showing a little bit of an uptick. The running back's kind of getting a fair shake with the pads on. And I feel like skill set-wise, there's some similarities in him that are to Deuce Vaughn. There's some similarities in Miles Sanders, who is, had some standout days and is that steady veteran. So for Deuce Vaughn, I think it is pivotal that he finds his way back on the field as soon as he can. Although we really aren't going to be able to see this competition at running back until preseason for real.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of want to bounce back to that tight end conversation, obviously. But Brevin Spanford is a guy that when he first came in as that undrafted free agent, his size was just noticeable compared to the other guys around him. And the impression that he's made since he has been here in such a short amount of time has been so positive. He's very well respected by his teammates. I know Lunda Wells, the tight ends coach, really loves what Brevin can do. To your point, Aisha, about using him in the red zone, short yardage situations, I think Brevin would be perfect for that. But more so, you saw Awesome Richards getting that work at tight end. To me, had me questioning a little bit, and Kyle Yeomans mentioned this on the broadcast, kind of looks like a Brevin Spanford thing that Brevin could be doing or Luke Schoonmaker could be doing. But it is frustrating for this tight end room. And Nicole, I've just been meaning to ask you, because we haven't heard anything about John Stevens Jr. And now that he has this chance to kind of get more of those reps, be seen a little bit more, what kind of camp is he having so far? Because he has been notorious for having phenomenal camps, standing out quickly. How is he doing during this training camp? Especially, we won't see until this week. Obviously, he's going to get more of that attention. But what have you seen so far?
Yeah, I put on my little Jets hat and asked about John Stevens
That's
yesterday.
right, girl. That's right. As you should.
And Shadi had just said that, of course he acknowledged the fact that, he hadn't played an NFL season just yet. In terms of, regular season games. And he was just saying how he's attacked his rehab so well. And he, like Sam Williams, hadn't missed a day in his rehab this offseason. So the work is there. He had a couple of key drops yesterday's practice, and one of them was wide open. And I think both of them he was wide open. And so that, I feel like, there's just that confidence level that you see him have some good days, have some kind of rough moments. But, that's to be expected when you've been injured 2 seasons in a row with the type of injuries that he's had.
Yeah.
But, you can see the moments of confidence flash, but you can see, the moments where he's kind of down on himself. He came off the field after finally, catching a pass yesterday, and Jake Ferguson actually kind of patted him on the back. So that was good to see. But he's getting more opportunities because Brevin Spanford is out for a little bit. So expect to see a lot more of John in first and second team reps. But the confidence will continue to build over time for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And another guy on this list that I wanted to make sure we mentioned was Wanye Thomas, because this was a guy that all of us had agreed that would fit very well in an Eberflus system, and, didn't necessarily know where he fit in the Zimmer system, but now you're in the Eberflus era. Ladies, what kind of opportunity does Wanye Thomas have in this defense? And especially now that we've kind of seen what this defense is about, punching out, balls, getting fumbles, being ball hawks. How does Wanye Thomas fit into this? And, he has to show it this training camp. How does he fit in?
Can I? Well,
Go ahead.
Well, go ahead, Nicole, because you've been out there.
No, go ahead.
You've been out there. Well, Matt, obviously, Coach.
My bad.
The Spider-Man meme.
Stop, y'all.
Go.
Just leave it alone. No, but obviously, it sounds like Coach Eberflus is actually talking right now. So, maybe we'll get some answers after about some of his comments. But in regard to, the usage of the safeties, we've been seeing Donovan Wilson do some stuff close to the line of scrimmage, and that's something he's going to get back to doing, obviously, to help out this run defense. But we have seen, and we saw this in minicamp and OTAs, where I thought it was because Donovan was still working out on the side sometime and stuff. Maybe they're trying to ramp him up. But you would see Malik Hooker next to Wanye Thomas. Both of them being probably obviously the more rangy, and by rangy I mean guys that can get from one side of the field to the other real quick in a hurry. Safeties and being able to, obviously this defense wants to take the ball away. I really think that Eberflus may look at some of these guys as interchangeable. And also, too, when you start looking at this pass rush, this edge room that you've seen, Nicole, really get after it, if your defense can really get home with 4, that means you can drop more guys into coverage. That means you can be a little bit more multiple. And I think that will give guys like Wanye Thomas an opportunity to be on the field. So seeing him go down also bummed me out because we got to see a little wrinkle of him being out there next to Malik Hooker and how much ground he and Hooker, who had a good day yesterday playing the run and coming from depth and tackling, I thought that they're going to be able to cover a lot of grass together, and I think that's what you want. And where Donovan Wilson struggles sometimes in coverage, I think Wanye Thomas is a little bit more efficient. So depending on the matchup, could you throw him out there? I think it's going to be a big year for him. Hopefully he can get healthy and get back out there because I want to see Eberflus mix it up a bit. What you got, ladies? What you got?
I'm going to answer the question with a question for you, Aisha.
No.
Okay, well, let me go first.
Then.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, you want here? I'll ask Nicole. Nicole, what's two traits, just 2 traits that you would describe Jordan Lewis as?
2 traits?
Just 2? Just
I'm
2.
gonna cry in the car.
Just 2? Dog mentality. He can
mic drop,
cover
girl.
all ground. He can do
That's great.
pretty much
Just 2.
dang near everything.
Dog mentality.
Yeah, like, you can't find that out here. I'm sorry, but, like, no one on this team has that. Now, could you find 2 people that make up what Jordan Lewis is? Absolutely.
Yeah, he got that number 2 on, yeah.
He
literally.
do.
Yeah.
Wanye do got the number 2 on.
Got that number 2 on.
But what makes Wanye so special is because he can be interchangeable. Like, Aisha just mentioned, he can play the nickel, but he can also kind of be in some safety packages as well. He can cover. He can play the run. But Eberflus wants these guys to be able to do it all. Ain't no just being, playing up close to the line of scrimmage or playing in the box and you're going to help in the run game. No, you need to be able to cover. We saw, even Dono have a good play in the passing game as well. So all these guys got to be able to do everything. And I think Wanye does have a great opportunity, but he has to get back healthy for sure.
Absolutely. All right, ladies, we're going to go to our last break. When we come back, we would just be remiss to not talk about Dak Prescott on his birthday. Stick with us. This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. Well, BRB.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence should just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Do it for confidence on and off the field. Do it for you. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Don't wait. Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
How do you tell the world about all the great gifts in the Yeti store? Let her rip, Troy.
All right, folks, let's get started with the Yeti French Press. Enjoy coffee that stays hot for hours in a French press. 34 ounce for you, 6'4" for the crews. The Yeti French Press. Hot mix waterproof bags. Bags waterproof. Submersible waterproof doubles. Waterproof bags. World's mostly water, so get a waterproof Yeti bag. Do I smell something cooking? Oh, new cast iron skillets made to be passed down like Mama's recipes. Take a steak, cornbread, cobbler's pot pie, and potatoes next level with 3 sizes of Yeti cast iron skillets.
Gear, gifts, and product experts. Visit the Yeti store on McKinney Street and at South Lake Town Square today.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys Nation, the 2025 Dallas Cowboys schedule is officially here and limited tickets are available right now. Get ready to bring the noise as you watch your Cowboys live at AT&T Stadium when they host NFC East rivals Eagles, Giants, and Commanders, plus the Packers, Chiefs, Chargers, Vikings, and Cardinals. Visit DallasCowboys.com/tickets or SeatGeek.com, the official primary ticket partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back to Girls Talk, Boys Talk. Our last segment here, Bree Aldridge, Aisha Morrison, Jess Navarez, and Nicole Hutchison out in Oxnard, being our eyes on the ground, checking everything out. Ladies,
The sound.
a guy you may or may not know turns 32 years old today. I should say 32 years young. 32 years young today. He goes by the name of Rain Dakota Prescott. I don't know if you guys know him or not, but today's his birthday. So just want to say happy birthday to Dak. And in order to do that, I'm going to ask you guys 2 questions. Okay. Start with the first one, okay? First one is, what expectations do you have for Dak Prescott going into year 10, post-injury, everything ahead? What is your highest expectation that he has for you that you're looking for this season?
What you got, Nicole?
Win football game.
What you?
I'm keeping it simple.
Oh, is it what?
I'm sorry.
What you say?
I was keeping it simple. Win football games. Help the team win football games.
Right to the
my good sister.
Not a name.
But
sorry.
how can he contribute, in your opinion?
I mean, maintaining what he's already been doing. Like, I mean, we've seen him throw for big yards. You know, we've seen the passing touchdown leader. What was that, 2023? We've seen, like, just use what you've got. You've got the pieces. They've given you the pieces. Just be Dak from 2023. I mean, it's that simple. Like, and not them baby games like Chicago. I want to see that when Kansas City comes to town, or, you know, you play the Detroit Lions. Like, just keep that same energy and stay healthy. And, yeah, I mean, everything else will come.
Ladies?
I think my expectations is similar to what he gave his own. I'm not, I mean, of course, I need everybody in the locker room to say they want the Super Bowl, right? Okay, yes. But Dak Prescott is 2-5 in the postseason. I need Dak Prescott to be regular season Dak Prescott in the postseason. That's just facts. He's never going to get that respect, I think, and be in those conversations of a Josh Allen, of a Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. He's just never going to be in those conversations. I don't care about his mobility. I don't care if he carries his team on his back. When the game is over in the postseason, like Nicole says, just win games. That's just something he hasn't been able to do in his career. And you just said he's got the pieces. There's really no excuses. You have the pieces, and you have a young-minded coach who brought in a young-minded team with a little bit of veteran sauce, right? We are seeing this old defense come back. Ball Hawks, they're saying we're going to get this many takeaways. Great. There's really, if they're doing everything they said, if they're going to be a run-first team, they brought you the pieces. If they can stay healthy, Dak Prescott needs to be a quarterback that can win, find a way to win in the postseason.
Aisha?
Yeah, put it all together. Like you guys are talking about. I mean, one thing that stands out is how much he's running. And I think he's conditioned himself. I think he's conditioning himself to where he's going to be, him running is second nature to him again. And I think that's a part of putting it together for this offense. Like, this might be, you know, some of the better clipboard warriors he's been with and all that stuff. You know, obviously the offensive line's trying to come together. So for me, I agree with you ladies. Like, it's time to put up. I expect for him to play his best football. There shouldn't be anything that he's seeing defensively that he hasn't already seen more times over. If he's the big bad veteran, I expect for him to take advantage in some of these games where he is, you know, the better quarterback. So, like you ladies said, like, just go win games, finish out these tough games, these close games and things like that, and hopefully you can carry that into the playoffs. So,
y'all know Dak is the 7th oldest starting quarterback in the NFL?
Isn't that crazy?
7th oldest?
That's 7th oldest.
That's
crazy.
Oh, my God.
I know.
Last question.
Little tidbit.
What is your favorite memory with Dak? It can be on the field. It can be conversations you've had with him. Favorite memory with Dak, real quick, before we go.
You got one? Oh, Nicole, tell us yours.
Mine's easy because it
Why
was
I gotta go first?
Are you going first?
Cousin.
No. Why do I have to go first?
Am I going first?
Go ahead, go,
Okay, I'll
baby.
go first. Because it's funny, and I was like, So I was behind Dak when we were going on the bus back home. I forgot what away game it was, but he was injured, obviously, so he's kind of got his limp or whatever, and he has this probably Christian Dior's at least a $3,500 backpack, right? So he's got his backpack on, and it's so funny because normally they don't really ask Dak Prescott for his ID to get through TSA to get on the bus, and this lady was like, "Can I see your ID?" And he's just like, "Okay." Like, he wasn't rude at all. But because he had his wallet was in his backpack. I was behind him, and he looked at me and he said, "Could you get my wallet?" And I could see it, but he couldn't grab it. And I said, "He trusts me to go into this?" Not that I steal, but I'm just like, this is Dak Prescott. I was like, okay. So I was just like, me? And then he looked at me like, "Can you put it back in?" I was like, "Yeah, I got to put it back in." And that was like, I was like, okay, Dak Prescott is just like us besides the $3,500.
Come on, big trust.
There you go.
All right.
Come on.
That always sticks out to me because he really had to like kind of prove who he was. And I'm just like, he just played. No, he didn't play, but it's him. It's his team, but that's fine.
Aisha?
I think my best memory with Dak Prescott was, I would say, our first time in the locker room, I want to say, Jess. I, wide-eyed, like a little puppy, don't know nothing about nothing, caught him on the walk-off because this is when he had started. He had started this cadence quite some time ago. It didn't become a thing really till like last year, but this is not something, he's been doing it a while. And I went up to him because Dak's my quarterback. I know Romo and other people say, "That's my quarterback. That's the one I grew up watching." So I was like, "Oh, that's different," immediately the first time I heard it. And so I went up to him and I was like, "Hey."
Catch your breath.
I was scared, y'all. I was like, "Hey, so you change your cadence?" And he was like, "Yeah, you noticed that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did." And he was like, "Well, good. Bleep." And then he gave me a little fist bump. And I was like, it made me feel good as someone that was new to the business, but also, too, that, just noticing the little details in the game matter to me as an analyst. So it was very reassuring. And it made me, after that, he would talk to me in the locker room, because he understands that I'm paying attention to the details of him. So that was awesome, and it was very rewarding, just knowing that he had some level of respect for my vision. So there it is. So that was it for me. What about you, Nicole?
I'm dead.
Why you laughing? Why you gotta be dead?
I guess I'll go with the one from last year. It's just funny because, like, when I first got the job, my mom's always told me this, but my dad playing the NFL, so like I really don't be caring about the status or whatever. So my mom was like, "Dak's your cousin, right?" I was like, "Girl, quit playing. Go about my business," right? And so, fast forward, I go to a family event, and they're like, "Dak's like your cousin." And I'm like, "Okay, that's cute, whatever." So then I keep going about my business. The whole year's gone past. I go to my first training camp. Cool, da-da-da-da-da. And my cousin called me. Technically, she's my second cousin. And, girl, my grandpa had a lot of kids. Okay, we're not going to talk about it. And, yeah, so that's that Louisiana stuff. Okay. And so, basically, long story short, it all came out that our grandparents are siblings. And, he's my cousin. Great. That's the story.
That's kind of cool.
Girl,
we found out because his grandma called him and was like, "Hey, your cousin's there." And he was like, "Who is my cousin?" And so we finally met, and Kalina got the picture and everything. It was kind of funny.
Girl, love it.
that.
Small funny moment.
I'm gonna do mine quickly. So, I was dying to 2 years ago get a fine line tattoo, and Dak actually had booked with the same artist I did the same week. And so the tattoo he got that week was for his mom on her birthday. Him and his brother went to this tattoo artist to get a tattoo on his hand for his mom. And so that week I went in the locker room and I was like, "Hey, you just went to this artist. What do I need to know? I'm nervous. This is my first arm tattoo." Meanwhile, he's covered in tattoos. He's like, "How big is it?" The way I'm being dramatic, he's like, "Well, how big of a tattoo is it?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's this big." And he's like, confused, right? He's like, "Oh no, you're gonna be okay. It doesn't hurt. You're good." And then he told me more about the artist that I was gonna go see and what a great studio it was. And anyway, so then I go get the tattoo and come back the next week. I show him, and he was like, the first thing he says, "Did you do it or did you chicken out? Did you follow through? Did you do it?" And I was like, no, it's right here. And, so every time I see him now, the conversation is, did you get a new tattoo? And he tells me, like, be careful, because once you get one, you're going to want to keep getting more. So every time I see him, I know at Tyron Smith's presser, retirement presser, I was like, did you get another tattoo yet? Because the news broke of SJ being pregnant with now Aurora. And he was like, yeah, I have 2 planned. And so he had told me what those 2 were going to be for her. So I kind of guessed her name before it was announced, but I didn't want to say anything. Anyways, all that to say, Dak Prescott, happy birthday. We appreciate QB1 around these parts, and we appreciate you guys for watching. This has been Girls Talk, Boys Talk. We'll be back on with you on Thursday, 3 o'clock Central Time. Looking forward to it. For Aisha Morrison, Bree Aldridge, Nicole Hutchison out in Oxnard, Jess Navarez, we appreciate you. Drink some water. Stay hydrated. We'll see you next time. Bye.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!